And that's going to do it. That's going to be the very start of this episode of Western Kabuki. I am, as always and as ever, your host, Wack Nicholson, as always joined by my two wonderful co-hosts, Caleb and Juniper. Caleb, how are you?
I'm honking like a fucking goose today, guys. Let's go.
You got laid? Well, I think that's great. Juniper, how are you? Or did you get laid as well?
No. I had work today. Things have been going well, but I lost my debit card the other day.
Sheesh.
Other than that, though, things are going great. I just have to figure that situation out, but I'm doing well.
Excellent. So glad to hear it. And we are so honored to be joined by the hesitant poster, the shy gimmick account, the beautiful, the wonderful Jenn Takahashi. Jenn, thank you so much for joining us. How are you?
Oh my God, it is the biggest honor. I was trying to
It is. You're right. You're lucky to be here.
Tell my parents. And
you're telling your parents about this. Good Lord.
Oh, of course. No. I was like, you guys, I'm super
sorry, Jen's
out.
Parents in advance.
I'm super stressed out because literally my favorite posters asked me to be on their podcast. And they're like, oh, but you post, because they have push notifications on for my tweets, which is a whole other story.
That's beautiful. That's the family supporting of posters. That's so cute.
And I was like, no, I'm not a poster, though. I curate the post and I know what makes a good post, but I'm not a poster. And then I was like, you know how Elon Musk thinks that he's a poster and he's not. And so that resonated with them. And so it is
I see.
So they're tuned into the whole Elon Musk drama. They know what's going on.
Yep, they have those push notifications all ready to go.
It's fun for the whole family. That's wonderful.
Exactly.
This is very important. If you are related to me, you best not be listening to this. It's required that you aren't currently listening to this. Yeah, I do. I mentioned it on the show before, but I have a brother who does listen behind an
Shout
anonymous
out to the brothers,
account.
dude.
Yeah, but my brother won't tell me what his name is on Twitter and won't tell me how much of the show he's listened to or what he thinks of it. He's a terrorist.
The brothers.
And so since, Jenn, your family's listening, I won't ask if you got laid today. We can just move on. We are going to talk a bit about dying Twitter today, of course. And I would like to get in a bit of the crypto-fascist paramilitary group known as Nextdoor.
Hell yeah. It's Twitter brain rot, but for our Gen X parents, basically.
It's Twitter brain rot for people who literally do not touch grass.
Yeah, it's the suburbs.
Can I tell you guys a story about Nextdoor?
Oh my God, yes.
I got featured on my local Nextdoor because I lived in a nicer neighborhood in Tacoma when things were kind of the city was in transition, we'll say. And there was someone in my neighborhood that was like, this person keeps walking past my house at night. And then they posted a bunch of pictures and they described as a short, husky man. And it was me. And I was like, oh, no. I'm walking because you just called me husky. First of all, I'm walking at night. I don't give a fuck about your garden gnomes or whatever. Like I went on this whole diatribe about it. And my diatribe was apparently meaner than her post. And that's how I got suspended from Nextdoor because I was defending myself.
Because you were defending yourself?
Suspended?
Yeah. I got suspended.
Love it. Oh
what did you say?
Why is this person walking around at night? Well, because I work during the day, imbecile. And yes, you described it perfectly. I'm husky. I'm walking. It's what you're supposed to do. Fucking
that's not allowed,
dog.
For people who use Nextdoor, walking in front of people's houses that's basically terrorism.
Literally never went on their property. Just like this person walks by my house every night, like at the same time. Like, yes, I go on walks. Like, what are you talking about, dog?
I'm getting really nervous about what's going on in my neighborhood because at roughly like 5:30, 5:45, sometimes as late as 6 o'clock, a bunch of cars pulled into my neighborhood and into the various driveways. I'd really like to know what they're all doing.
Sometimes before work, so I have like a 40-minute commute before works, and I don't always leave at the same time. So I'll like leave a little early sometimes, and I'll get to like the area I work in maybe like 10 minutes early sometimes, and I don't want to like sit outside of my workplace. So I go to like a neighborhood kind of nearby sometimes. And this is like at 8 a.m. So it's like pretty early. People are like just getting up, leaving for work, whatever. And I'll like just park my car outside of some of these houses. And the looks that people give me, like just parked in this like tiny little neighborhood, like I'm like, are they going to pull a gun on me? Are they like posting about me on Nextdoor or some shit? Like the vibes that people give when you're just like in a neighborhood and they don't recognize you is like obscene sometimes. It's so weird.
It's just a bunch of boomers who watch Rear Window.
I know they have. Like I'm there for like 10 minutes and I'm like, it's over for me. Yeah. Everyone's talking about me.
I remember there's this one post where this woman really did not want anyone to be using her driveway. And so she actually ordered a bunch of spikes from Amazon, and I guess so it's like, well, what's going to happen? They're just going to basically just get stuck in your driveway.
She's setting up like, you know how cops will set up like spike traps for high-speed chases. They'll like try to redirect like the chase in a certain way, and they'll set down the spikes. That's what that person was doing.
Doing that, but like for Uber drivers.
Yeah. That's insane. God, I love suburbanites. I love suburbanites.
Setting up an EMP bomb in my basement in order to disable all communication devices in order to find out why there's a black guy walking around.
Oh, God.
Yeah, honestly, that's kind of like why I actually don't use Nextdoor personally. When I first started the account, it's because I was living in Glen Park, which is a super basically suburb version of San Francisco. And I was working long hours at this PR agency, and I was just super burnt out. And I remember every time I got home, there's this woman who would always post about her lawn gnomes, this family of lawn gnomes.
Let's go.
And
Tell me she dressed them up, Jen. Tell me she dressed them up.
I think she did.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
So basically she, I suppose allegedly there was someone who was going around rearranging the lawn gnomes. And she was not happy about that. So every single day, it was like at 5:30 p.m. on the dot, she would post about it, and then she would sign the post by every single member of the entire lawn gnome family. And there were like a lot of members. And so it became kind of like part of my daily routine. I would have a stressful day at work, and then I would see this post, and I'd be like, okay, yeah, like maybe I should spot the small stuff, like, and so that's kind of like what I loved about it. And then I moved to Soma, and the posts there were, a little bit more real than like the lawn gnome rearrangement. So I actually stopped using it myself, just because it's just too depressing. It's almost like Twitter. So
as someone who's never visited the delightful bay or the area there surrounding, what is Soma like?
Soma it's actually, it's a couple blocks away from Twitter HQ. So basically whatever Elon is saying about it, that it's, the posts are a lot. They're a lot, and they're just very, very depressing.
Yeah, sure.
So we've kind of been talking a little bit about it already. Jen, I don't know if everyone knows what Nextdoor is. Do you kind of want to explain? Because you know best, I'm sure. Do you want to kind of explain what Nextdoor is?
Oh my God. Yeah. It's basically Facebook for your neighbors. And if there's anything that everybody has, it's either a crazy neighbor or a nosy neighbor. And it's just been insane getting these submissions of Nextdoor posts just from, all around the country. I don't know. I feel like, who was it? I think when the Atlantic, they did a story on it. They said something like, it doesn't matter if you're liberal or conservative. No one likes having dog poop put into your garbage bin, which is so true. And it's just like keep getting the same post over and over, no matter like what city it is.
It's almost true.
Yeah. I don't really have strong opinions about it. If somebody puts their dog poop in my garbage can, I don't care. But I did have a problem with it, and I posted about this on my personal Facebook years ago. My neighbor would do that, and the dog didn't shit in front of my house, but he just put his dog shit in my garbage, even though he lived like 2 houses down. And at that point, it just seems rude. You know what I mean?
It was an attack on you.
That seems
He was targeting
that
you.
seems personal to me. That's what I had the problem with it. And I remember I posted that, and some guy, I fucking hated this guy, but this guy was like, "Oh yeah, dude, like gay people and minorities are being imprisoned and fucking whatever all over the country, and that's what you're worried about." And I was like, "Well,
Love that guy.
yeah, that guy." I was like, this was like 2015, 2016 or something. I was like, well, I mean, I think that you can care about both, maybe. I don't know. Maybe.
There is a Nextdoor type. It's like I would say that, like, does Nextdoor have private groups the way like Facebook does? Can you be a part of like a small group of people on Nextdoor?
It didn't before I got banned.
As far as I know, I think that's just for the moderators.
Oh, okay. So there's a Facebook group from my hometown. It has a very long name, and it is extremely cringe. But the short name is the Free Speech Alliance.
Oh no!
And you best believe that Harambe gets the name drop in that full name. But I was removed for quote unquote spamming quote unquote bullshit, ruining everybody's quote unquote good time.
So much for free speech, am I right?
Yeah, that's what I said. I said they're afraid of my speech. The cowards over there. And it's even better because I'm from like a small town, and my mom like babysat the dude who was the moderator of the thing. Baby pictures I posted in my Twitter circle. I was wearing clothes that dude who banned me handed down to me. But the
lifelong beef, I love it.
Yeah. We're not done yet, Luke. I'm coming for you. But that also had a very much like a Nextdoor element of just like there was a black guy at the diner today type of vibe a lot of the time. But they suck. They're not good guys. And I think that like as Nextdoor becomes like gets this reputation for being like the sort of racist social media app that I think it does. I think we're seeing a lot of like auxiliary like local Facebook groups where individuals will be like, "Hey man, I saw you on Nextdoor. You seem really racist. Do you want to join our group?" Because that is definitely the way it works with like transphobic people, like gender critical people. They have like regular gender critical groups where they like misgender like celebrities, and then they have like the deeper groups where they like misgender their children, and then they have the deeper groups where they say they would be better off if their kids were just dead. And I would imagine
I've seen those groups. Like people will like infiltrate. They'll like try to blend in and get into these groups and get into these deeper groups, and it's so crazy.
Kaylin Conrad, YouTuber, they did an amazing 3-part. It's like a 4-hour, 5-hour group of videos. It is fucked up and very upsetting, and I am not cis or queer, so if you are, just letting you know, it is super. Or I am cis. Sorry, I'm not trans or queer. Fuck, they're gonna clip that. Keep it in a bit. Hannah, do your worst. But the way those people talk to each other is really horrendous, and I would imagine that like some of the Nextdoor leads to some pretty dark stuff. But what's the fun stuff? Because I haven't really I've said it before, and Jen, I'll say it right to your face. I'm anti gimmick account, so I need you to sway me. What are some good Nextdoor account? What's a good Nextdoor post? What does a good best of Nextdoor post look like to you?
Okay, prepare yourself. This is absolutely my favorite thing that's ever happened in the history of Best of Nextdoor. So I had only had the Twitter account for maybe a couple months. And I came across, and honestly, I wasn't getting a ton of submissions. So I would just search the term Nextdoor on Twitter. And if I saw anything funny, I would retweet it. So I came across a tweet from someone saying that a next door post caused their entire neighborhood to get into a brawl at the library.
Over what?
So that's all it said, and I knew that I needed to know every single thing. So I looked at the person's Twitter account, and it says that they were in Seattle. So I asked the poster for more information, but they didn't respond. So I think at the time I had maybe 2,000 followers. And I just started spamming them. And I was just like, please, if you live in Seattle, if you have friends in Seattle, if you have family in Seattle.
I remember this, Bob. I know exactly where you're going with this. This is local to me. I remember all this. This is crazy.
Oh my God. Okay, well, I'm going to have to interview you later because I have so many questions still. Okay, so I was just like, please, if like, I just need to find this thread. I cannot, it will make my life complete. And I think it took a couple days, and finally I got the entire thread, which was like 800 something comments, and I read them all. And I posted the entire thing. It was incredible. Basically, as we all know, Seattle loves their Seahawks. And in this one neighborhood, this guy actually bought a cannon. An actual cannon,
like a Civil War cannon.
Yeah, that's what I picture. Like a civil. Yeah, like you have to roll it up with the boys. You got to have like 3 people manning this thing.
Juniper is so. I'm sorry. Juniper is so community minded to her bones that she sees a weapon capable of taking out like 30 people at once, and she's like, "That's just the boys hanging out." At the end of the day.
That's Midwestern shit. We love to see it.
It's a group activity. Yeah, we love to hang out.
Yeah, so they would fire the cannon whenever the Seahawks scored a touchdown. So the entire next door thread, the drama, it all started with someone posting a photo of their dogs in the bathtub saying, please, my dogs are so scared. I love the Seahawks too, but can we please cool it with a cannon?
Maybe your dogs are just fucking cowards and 49ers fans. Do you ever consider that maybe the dogs love the Rams?
You ever consider that your dogs are apologists for the crimes of Peyton Manning? Did you ever think about that?
And then everyone else started arguing. Someone said, no, we live in a city and you should be used to certain things. You should be used to things like loud noises, parking tickets, immigrants. And then everyone was like, immigrants. And then I remember this other guy was complaining because he liked to record the games and then watch them later, and he felt like they were spoiler alerts. So,
oh, fuck off!
So that's so good. I love that.
And so it was just like complete chaos in the replies. And then this one really sweet neighbor, I just envisioned him as like a Mr. Rogers type. He was just like, you know what? We're all neighbors. I'm sure that we can come to a conclusion that will make everybody happy. And I actually rented out a room at the library. And why don't we just come all meet and talk this out? Oh my God.
Bad idea, dog. Bad idea.
I can't believe this didn't happen first in Philly. I can't believe that Seattle took this from us.
Listen, we have a reputation that it's not actually in line with reality. I'm telling you.
I think we got to get you out to Philly for real,
I think
man.
that happened in Lake City, as I recall, which is it's nothing like what people think Seattle is. It's a different world.
I'm like crying. I'm crying right now, just laughing at this dude, thinking like all these deranged suburbanites. What we need to do is get them all in the same room together.
Yeah. Oh so what I can tell you about the person who organized this meeting, I did the research. I'm 99% sure that this person is someone who moved up from California as like a tech worker that's like, oh no, we can talk this out. And this is like, no, dog. These are like Lake City old school fucking insane Captain Insanos. You're not gonna have a roundtable discussion about this. It's not gonna go your way.
This isn't a free marketplace.
Oh my God.
This isn't a marketplace of ideas.
I actually saw a video I'm not allowed to post the video, unfortunately. It was a reporter who actually found it, and they showed it to me. So, this basically the video, the Seahawks fans showed up, decked out in their Seahawks gear, completely decked out.
That's right.
And like they had like Seahawks like dreadlocks and everything.
Yes,
and
the dreadlock hat. Okay, I saw. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I saw that. I can't tell you how I saw it, but I'm telling you, I saw it, and I have the same hat.
I like to think that you're on these people's side.
I am 100% on their side.
Caleb.
And then
Caleb.
there was a bunch of
Caleb, I'm sorry. Caleb, were you at this event?
No, I was not. Unfortunately,
Okay.
I was, dude. I didn't get to it. So like, I got informed about this like in real time, and I'm like 45 minutes from there. I was like, dude, I gotta go. I gotta get out there. I gotta grab my dread hat and let's fucking roll on these people. Anyway, sorry, Jake, keep going. I was not there.
Yeah.
To my lawyer, I was not there. To the police, I was not there.
Behind the paywall, that maybe that story may change.
And the footage that I saw was just like, half the people are just like in cardigans, and the other half were like in all Seahawks gear, and they were just screaming at each other. And I remember one of the Seahawks fans said, "What's wrong with the cannon? Just once a week." And
can't deal with a cannon on Sunday. Come on.
And then there was someone in the middle who was saying, "Please, you guys, this is the library. We're going to get kicked out of the library, please." And so then the cops
don't
were
get
called.
kicked out of the library. Not that. Shut up. Shut up or you get kicked out of the library. We're talking about the Legion of Boom, dog. The best secondary in modern NFL history.
And the cops were called. They were kicked out of the library, and the cannon fired for the rest of the night.
Let's go.
The cannon won. The Cannon Bros won.
Dude, honestly, I love imbeciles so much.
Here's also a little
still firing. I still get like people will record it, and it's so loud. So I am just, that's probably like my favorite thing that's ever happened in Next Door history. Oh my God.
That's incredible. I can't believe it. I've never heard of that story before. That's just like an incredible like story in general. Like even aside the Next Door aspect of it, that's just insane.
You don't love that. You don't love Seahawks football, baby. That's what I'm talking
about. Holy shit. Oh my God, I love that. Yeah, no, I love that. Like Next Door is just like, it really is where a lot of like, because I feel like for a while there was a lot of like back in like 2013, there was like a lot of like people, at least where I live, that would use Facebook for this sort of like local community type stuff.
Yeah.
But I don't know, people don't really use Facebook anymore. At least I don't, and I don't really know anyone who does. Even like older adults in my life that I know, like family or like anyone like that. But it really it feels like all of the like more deranged people just use Next Door. And I have heard good Next Door stories. Like I heard one recently where it was like someone was posting about like someone to like get try a sample of this. So they work for a company. I'm trying to keep this as vague as possible to not like reveal anything. Basically, this person is like a baker, and they needed to get a bunch of people to taste test a new product they were making, and it was like a good way to like organize stuff like that, because and it like actually worked, and like they got good feedback. So like stuff does turn out okay on Next Door. People don't always brawl, from what I know, but of course the brawling is the more interesting stories. The fights, the cannons, far more interesting to me.
That's kind of a once in a lifetime type of Next Door story. I feel like nothing really tops that. From
I agree.
Yeah.
And to my fellow Philadelphians,
what's up?
I think we can top it. I think we can.
Yeah,
top
you guys.
I think that
you guys probably can. I'm not gonna talk tough.
I'm honestly ashamed that the illustrious minds of such as James Madison, Thomas Paine, Thomas Jefferson, Ben Franklin, can't get the honor of a cannon being firing blanks in front of our beautiful city hall, which leads
That's
to our
because
stadiums.
Philadelphia didn't have Cam Chancellor and Earl Thomas, dog. The best safety
but
pair in the league.
That's true. That's true. We didn't have them. We didn't have the short game of the Carroll Wilson dynasty. That's a deep insight. That's literally only for me and Caleb. That one. I don't think.
you that's a good. Yeah, I'm the exact same height as Russell Wilson. Haha, I get it. He's short.
No, the short game. It's just across the red zone short game.
Oh, god damn it. Okay. All right.
Goal line offense. It's an important part of the game. Is all I'm saying. But we had.
Listen,
we had
he's in
other
hell
content.
now. We sent him to hell in Denver. He's paying his price for that sin.
Didn't he retire too? In shame.
No, he's got like years on his.
He
contract.
should be ashamed. He should be ashamed. So we got the background, Jen, a bit about like your Best of Next Door, which is kind of your villain origin story. Where
according to the founder of Next Door, I guess I am the villain. Which is this
Wait, what does that mean?
Just like,
does the founder of Next Door actually know you? Like know of you?
Oh my god, they hate me. Okay, so
I need to hear this too.
So believe it or not, as much as I love the online drama and I have accounts dedicated to following the online drama, I actually don't really like drama in my personal life. And ironically, I lived 2 blocks away from Next Door HQ at the time. And and so I started hearing from my reporter friends, because again, my day job is in PR. So my reporter friends would tell me, wow, the founder of Next Door and their PR team, they really hate you. I think they called me a grumpy lady. And they said that the founder wouldn't do any interviews if Best of Next Door was going to be mentioned. And so
that's an honor.
Honestly, yeah.
And so I was confused by it because honestly what I was trying to do. Sorry, I'm trying to adjust my AirPods in case that didn't work. Sorry, can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So then when I started hearing that, I was thinking, okay, maybe the founder just thinks that I'm trying to like take him down or something. And so I actually ran into him, living just 2 blocks away. And so I was like, hey, Nirav, my name is Jenn. And then he like reached out to shake my hand. And then I was like, I run Best of Next Door. And then he was like, sorry, I'm on a call. Nice to meet you.
Wow.
So,
leper status.
So that happened. And then again, I don't know. From like a PR standpoint, I didn't want them to think that, again, I was trying to just hurt them. I was like, if anything, I'm like your biggest fan right now. So then I actually asked to go out for coffee with the head of community of Next Door. And so I sat down with him and oh my God, he was sweating bullets. He was like, my PR team told me not to come. And I was just like, I'm sorry, but that kind of insults me as a PR professional because, and then I pulled up my phone and that day Mashable had did an article and the headline was Best of Next Door is the happiest place on the internet. And so I showed it to him and I was like, please ask your PR team, what is wrong with this headline? I said, if anything, I would be thanking me because there's so much bad that I could be putting out there, but I just don't want to put that negative energy back out there in the world. And I said, and you and I both know that there's a lot of things that I could also post that would just go viral. But again, I'm not trying to put that energy back out there. And so I asked, I don't know, nothing really came out of that meeting. I tried again to get in touch with the founder and former CEO. He was just replaced by Sarah Fryer. But I tried to reach out to Nirav, the founder again. He never responded to me. And then a couple years ago, he was doing a conference with our favorite, Jason Calacanis. This is my first introduction to
Jason or Travis?
No, you're thinking of Travis Kalanick.
Wait, who's Jason?
Jason.
Who am I thinking of?
You're
one that
thinking of
Elon-
Travis Kalanick from Uber. This is Jason
fuck.
Calacanis.
The Uber guy.
Jason Calacanis is at Jason on Twitter, the biggest dumb fuck in the universe.
Yeah, the man with the most childlike brain on Twitter.
I don't know anything about this guy actually.
Oh,
my gosh,
you're in
okay,
for a fucking
remember-
treat.
Yeah,
Remember
dude.
the DeSantis? Okay, so the DeSantis thing last week. He's the one who tweeted, "Oh my God, Elon gets to sit down with DeSantis. It's going to be at 6 p.m."
Oh, he's one of the
The all-in
he's
guys.
yeah, okay. Is he the young one who says that if you don't have $200,000 by the time you're 23, you're a broke bitch or something?
No. He's
not young.
he's
Oh, he's not young.
He's old.
He has a deceptive Twitter profile picture. Excuse me.
Yeah, well, because he looks like Leonardo DiCaprio. And
Yeah, that dude's in his 50s, by the way. That's catfishing.
You know, I think didn't he also tweet after like the DeSantis space like went to shit? Wasn't he the one that tweeted, is Donald Trump not doxing? Is Donald Trump what's the thing where it's
he was like this feels like a denial of service attack is what
DDoS attack.
Yeah.
Is the Trump campaign doing a DDoS attack?
Because 600,000 people were trying to listen to it. Yeah. Yes, you fucking idiot.
Jason, fucking Jason. He's such a dumbass.
As I said at the time, fewer people were trying to watch that Twitter space than people, or I'm sorry, I said watch. There's no visual element because that takes extra computing power. Fewer people tried to listen to that episode than whatever random episode of The Goldbergs was rerunning that night. You understand? Like, this is not a major news story.
1/32 the viewership of a fucking weekday episode of Young Sheldon. Fuck off.
and the thing with like that, because after the fact they're like, oh my God, like 3 million people tuned into the recording. It's like, yeah, because if you click on a recording for 1 second on Twitter, that counts as an extra like listen.
Yeah.
There is no way.
If
you're
you
not
listen for
convincing
5
me.
seconds and heard Elon going, we're trying to get this started, and then 10 minutes of silence, that counts as a fucking listen.
Yeah.
Did we turn it on? Damn, the smartest guy in the universe asked if we turned it on.
That was honestly so fucking funny. The first like 20 minutes of that were far more entertaining than the rest of it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't remember anything after the first 20 minutes. I didn't give a shit.
Because it was
after
all
that
just
point.
like a bunch of like bullshit minor senators
Yeah.
being like, oh, good luck, Mr. DeSantis. And also, Elon, thank you, sir. I love you. Will you kiss me?
Yeah.
That whole space. I mean, that whole thing just felt like a fever dream. I still can't get over that. And like, I don't just the reaction to it, like the Jason guy talking about DDoSing and like just everyone. And then did you guys see that DeSantis ad? That was like, I don't think it was an official DeSantis ad, like, but it came from like the DeSantis War Room Twitter account. So it's like vaguely affiliated with him. Where it was like,
oh my God,
you already know what I'm talking about. It was the one where it was like, it had cuts of DeSantis like talking, but then it would cut to like old footage of Elon Musk, like from like some of the footage was from like 10 years ago, and it's like it was just like plain audio, no music, of just parts of the space where DeSantis was talking. So it was like really horrible audio quality with like footage of Elon Musk. It was the most bizarre ad I have ever seen.
The other thing that was
Easily
super
one of
weird
the
about
worst.
it. The other thing that was super weird about it was that it was not enough footage for all of the audio, so that it was a loop of video of Ron DeSantis, but also of Elon Musk for some fucking reason. Like a lot of
So
Elon Musk,
good.
a lot of Elon.
Yeah, no,
Musk.
it was like at least 60% of it was footage of Elon Musk of
it was
like the loop.
basically, yeah, it was basically like an Elon fan cam, but just like Ron DeSantis voiceover.
Yeah.
Disgusting.
And then
Dude. That's what they
even the
put
blue
you in when
checks-
they if you're gonna get MK Ultra, they put you in a room where that's on like 100-foot screen with strobe lights for like a year, and then you'll kill the president of China.
Easily, yeah. No, and even like the blue checks were confused in the replies. Like it made the rounds. People were like, why is Elon Musk here? Like even people that were like fans of DeSantis were like, what are you doing? What's Elon? Is Elon part of the campaign? Everyone was just so confused. I don't know. I can't get over that weird day. That
It
whole
was a
thing.
very strange day. But
Yeah.
did you guys see that DeSantis is actually a fake friend? The next day, or maybe it was a day or two after, but he went on Newsmax and said, "Well, I'm not a big social media guy, and I'd rather be on cable news than some app."
No way. Did he really?
So he did.
I mean, he's so
Fake
right
friend.
though. He's so right though. He's
This is the only
so
smart
right.
thing that fucking moron has ever said, by the way.
You need to distance. I mean, that's what any political campaign strategist worth their salt will be like. You have to distance yourself from that debacle. You have to make it clear that you want nothing to do with those freaks. And Elon probably won't have enough money to donate to you by the time the campaign gets underway in earnest anyway.
Yeah, I just can't imagine being associated with like Jason, David Sachs, Elon Musk, like all of those. Like I guess what's the organization? All In, that like
All
nerd
In
badge?
podcast.
So they're a podcast.
Friends of the show.
Colleagues of ours.
I would kill to be a guest on that show. I'm telling you.
I would kill for my creepy little drawing for this podcast to be have its own little Twitter badge. That's what I would love.
Hell yeah. So like many people in the current Elon era, there's a lot of like Twitter figures that I just wasn't familiar with. A lot of them being the like all in people. I've never seen them until like Elon took over Twitter. Like obviously it's a podcast, but it's like a tech podcast. Who are these people?
They're like fintech bros.
They're all venture capital guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's how Jason Calacanis made 1 million unsuccessful companies and then gave a $25,000 loan to Uber when they started, and that's how he made his fortune. Like,
oh Jesus,
he's been
Friend of
around
the show,
for
the
fucking ever.
Smiling Man talks about them quite a bit. Ed Zitron.
Yeah, no, I know Ed's love of David Sachs. I love whenever he gets into it with him.
These are the bestowed, the anointed ones who received VC money before the interest rates raised, and suddenly they're not so genius anymore. Strangely, that the money's not free.
Yeah, very good stuff. Very good stuff.
Yeah, so I had never heard of Jason Calacanis up until he had one of his conferences where he had Rob, the founder of Nextdoor, come on. Mm-hmm. And so he basically brings up Best of Nextdoor. And again, this is my first impression of Jason. And sorry, I loved him because he said Best of Nextdoor is my favorite Twitter account. And I'm like, oh my God, I love this guy. and then Nirav is clearly pissed. Like there's video of it. He's clearly pissed, and he was like, you know what? I would appreciate if you don't talk about that Twitter account. And your team just sprung that on me backstage. We don't encourage people to follow it. And he said our comms team just hates Best of Nextdoor. So I kind of took that as, okay, I don't need to really be nice or whatever anymore. I was just
hell
so
yeah, embrace the drama.
Yeah, screw
so
don't be nice. Don't be nice.
That was it still might be my pinned tweet. And that was like 3 or 4 years ago. It's just like that face that he made where he is not impressed. And like the Verge headline was, our comms team hates Best of Nextdoor.
That's so funny. Jen, I have a question for you. As somebody who's worked adjacent to PR for many years, and you as a PR professional, do you think that it is a good PR strategy to like unequivocally and publicly cry about how this Twitter account that's dunking on you is something that you don't like? Or should you maybe, if you're in that situation as a business owner, shut the fuck up about it and let it go away? Just curious.
Yeah, isn't that insane? Just, I don't know why he had to make such a big deal out of it. It was the Streisand effect, because then, the articles came out, and I think that everyone was just so surprised at how negative he was towards the account, when really, again, I'm not posting anything that bad.
Literally half the people that heard that were like, well, now I'm going to go check that out immediately, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, because when you first were talking about how they hated you, I was thinking like, oh, like they view you as like a like a PR, like you're gonna ruin their image with your posts. But you were saying you didn't even post like bad stuff. So it's like I'm failing to understand why
Same.
the CEO was this stupid.
They should have just paid you off, is what they should have done.
Because like something I've learned, and I think a lot of posters who kind of get a little like bigger like eventually learn is, and you basically brought up this principle, but to a larger scale with companies, Caleb, is just ignore it. If someone's mad at you, like unless it's like super serious, of course. But if it's like just a weirdo, like in your mentions doing something, or like some just anything like that, just ignore them. Like,
how many comments do you think that we sent Delta's way? Hundreds of comments.
Yes,
of telling them to give me $1,000. Hundreds of comments this podcast sent there. And you know what Delta did? They did the smart thing and they kept their mouth shut. They responded to one person, and it was like one of those automated, like, oh, send me your flight, because it was just a miscommunication. And you don't talk about your haters, dude.
We have talked about this on the show, so I just want to clarify so people don't call you a hypocrite or whatever, Caleb. It's like, yeah, Delta did pay him the money. It was not because of the Twitter stuff. It's because it was because he sat on hold for like 4 hours, and they were like, "Oh shit, we stole a bunch of money from you. Should we give that back?"
See, I want to believe that it was because of our Twitter community, though.
If you are
that's what I want to believe.
If you're a pissed off guy with like 42 followers and like you haven't had a date in a year and a half, and that crusade against Delta gave your life meaning, I'm just telling you right now, I love you, and you did that for me.
It was a fun couple of days harassing Delta.
It really was.
And we got the bird meme out of it with the little sombrero. So
I'm gonna get into it. I think
a net win.
Hell yeah. But that's awesome. So since then, so I'm not super familiar with the Nextdoor Twitter, because I don't typically follow a ton of like gimmick accounts. Have you gotten meaner to Nextdoor? Have you posted some of the like bad stuff? Because if so, I want to know about some of the bad stuff. Like, I need to know. I'm like just fascinated by the like suburbanite brain rot in America. And we see, I mean, you just see so much of that in America. Like, I forget who posted it, but there was that post just the other day where that guy took a picture of a house that had like overgrown trees and like grass, and was like, this is what the lack of a homeowner association gets your neighborhood. And it's like, oh my God, these people, like these, I don't know, these people are just so fascinating to me.
Juniper, I gotta tell you, if like Facebook boomer brain rot is like a beer, Nextdoor is like a fucking Caribou Lou or something, or like an AMF. Like it's
Hell yeah.
It's a shot to the brain of just the most insane suburban brain rot imaginable.
God, I love that though.
You should. Everybody here should follow Best of Nextdoor. It's hilarious.
I think I will, because I love that type of brain rot. It's so dangerous. I mean, it's part of the brain rot that's like, you know, there were those stories like a month ago where like day after day it was like person pulls into someone's driveway, gets shot to death.
Yes.
By
there were 3 in 1 week of just like a guy
just Nextdoor, dude.
Yeah.
Just some guy
like
being
the
like
Gloom from Zelda, like the Tears of the Kingdom.
Yes.
Fucking, like that is fucking what Nextdoor creates.
Yeah, they like just some guy who's like, there's a young lady dressed in paramilitary outfit. She is carrying what she is calling cookies. I will tactically ascertain.
Come on.
Turns out that they're delicious. There was a casualty though.
Yeah. We got 2 bogeys down, but we did tactically recover several boxes of cookies.
They're called
hardly any casualties in Operation Tag Along. Good job, team. All right, so Caleb, you had all sorts of good stuff. Okay, you had all sorts. The Target wrap, guys. I don't know if we want to. Yeah, you know, I want to talk about some of the goings on around social media that aren't directly related to our wonderful guest. So Jen, what do you think about Target? Are you woke or are you? Are you welcome to continue on this show?
Okay, I feel like I saw Target trending. I am a little bit sorry. Can you fill me in?
Okay,
I'd love to.
Please.
You actually don't know.
First of all, can I ask you guys an open question? Roundtable.
Please.
Yeah.
I've heard, because obviously the thing is like, oh, all the companies are making your kids gay or whatever their normal thing is, but there's like a big central emphasis on Target for being satanic, and I haven't caught what the cause of that is. Apparently, all these like QAnon adjacent people are saying. You got something, Alex?
I can explain that.
Please, let's go.
So apparently, they bought a shirt from a company that also makes a shirt that has like Baphomet on it or something. So the company makes a shirt with Baphomet on it, but Target does not stock that shirt. It's just made by a company that Target does stock.
Case. Open and shut case sounds like to me.
I'm
and
sold.
the shirt, all it said on it, which I guess if you're like a super conservative evangelical Christian, is like an attack on you. But all the shirt said was, I think it was like Satan. What was it, like Satan likes pronouns or something like that? It was like yeah, it was Satan respects pronouns. That's what the shirt was.
Also, I don't know if you've seen the uncropped version of the picture that Elon Musk is currently using as his profile picture, but it's him wearing armor with Baphomet on it.
He is dressed as the Marquis de Sade and is wearing armor with Baphomet on it.
There was like when
your Christian warrior.
When that Target shirt was kind of like when they were freaking out about it, which of course Target wasn't selling that shirt in particular, but there was like a section of like blue check people that have like since abandoned Elon that were posting Elon's profile picture with that Baphomet on it, and they were like, oh, there's the devil's on the inside of Twitter. It was like Alex Jones type shit. They're like, he's on the inside.
Symbolism will be their downfall, folks.
Yeah, and it was like these people are on another level.
I love those people. Those are my comrades in arms, dude. I seriously love those people so much. And then they go into like the World Economic Forum stuff with Elon. Listen, I'm right there with you. I agree with 110% of everything that you say. Keep posting it. It's funny. It's good. You're correct.
So it's so funny that there's the people that are like, oh, the World Economic Forum is satanic, when the complaint is like, oh, they're capitalists and will like do capitalist shit. But again, they're like, no, correct. They're satanic. They're satanic. They're evil.
Wait, I'm just Googling this. So they pulled Pride Month clothing?
So they are starting to pull some of their Pride Month advertising. And this is the thing about Target is that
for the past
serious? So for the past decade or so, Target has been on like the cutting edge of Pride stuff, and they started selling rainbow stuff literally like in 2013. But they are now kind of being like every year, basically since 2020, they've been a bigger and bigger target because they made Black Lives Matter stuff in 2021. They did like a huge pro-trans, pro-pansexual, pro-alternate pronouns thing last year, and now they're just trying to do good fashion. I would say to dubious success, but the the clothes are cheap and they're gay. So if you're gay and you don't have a lot of money, that is a good place to go.
Especially for people who live in like the smaller cities where it's like very, very conservative, stuff like that. People who are maybe a bit more isolated.
If you're in Biloxi, you're going to get your gay stuff from Target. And what people have started to do this year, this started last year, but this is really like they were ready this year, I think, to vandalize the Targets. And so MAGA rapper, what's the guy with the face tattoos name?
Okay, so there's I'm gonna read all of their names, and these are the most they're just the most large, awful looking men. One of them
largest men.
If big, possible, we need to show Jen, because I'm assuming if you haven't kept up with the Target news, you have not seen these men. If someone can,
there's more than just those two, though.
Like these people are insane. But go on, Caleb. Sorry.
They're MAGA rappers.
Yeah.
They're MAGA rappers.
MAGA rappers. Forgiato Blows, the main guy. He's the
What?
You think Forgiato? I'm sorry. You think Forgiato Blow is the main guy?
Well, he's the one. So he's like the guy whose song it was, and everyone else was a feature. Is what I'm saying.
Oh, okay. So I think of The face tattoo guy is like the main
That's him.
MAGA rapper.
That's him.
That's
He's the
him?
face tattoo, yeah.
That's
The
I
guy
thought he
looks
had
like a
another
giant
name.
baby. He looks like a giant baby.
He looks like a giant baby.
I've never seen a picture of this dude with his mouth closed. His mouth is just always open. Like his jaws are wired open.
He's doing a latent soy face.
Yeah, he's just like he just
Oh
looks
my
like a
God.
baby. He's got cornrows. He's a white man with cornrows, by the way. I think he's white. He's light skinned man with cornrows. Awesome. And then he had a guy named on there, Jimmy Levy, who was the one who did the singing. And
Okay, so that was the one I was saying. Was
Yeah,
the second. I
okay.
thought he was Jimmy Levy. I
Bro,
thought he was Jimmy Levy.
Jimmy Levy is the funniest one because I think it was Sheriff Norm Charleston, friend of mine on Twitter, said post a picture of him, was like, every picture of this guy looks like he's just in excruciating pain, like, which is true.
True.
He looks like a character from Minecraft. He's just like block shaped, entirely block shaped. I don't trust him.
He
Like,
he looks like if Drake and Josh were combined in Minecraft. That's what he looks like.
Then there's Nick Natoli, who he's another kind of just known MAGA fucking dork.
Okay, so Nick Natoli is like, of them,
Yeah.
a pretty good rapper. Of the
He's
Natoli
actually
or-
so he's the one who got the most verses because he's the only one that actually can conceivably do any good hooks or whatever.
So you are referencing
my
a specific
God.
song, the anti-target, anti-gay song. But I've been in the shit with some of these guys for a while. I couldn't keep their
They've all
names
been around.
straight.
They're known quantities. And
But
then
yeah, like-
hang on, really quick. Last but not
Yeah.
least, my favorite, he has like this guy has like maybe like 2,000 followers. He's a complete cuck. He's not with the rest of them. He got added on as an afterthought, and his fucking guy's name is, I swear to God, Stony Dude Bro, and he got like 7
Let's
seconds
go.
of time.
No way.
Stony Dude Bro,
Taken-
the little
taken straight
brother of
from
the MAGA rap
2012.
group. Stony
so-
Dude Bro. Can you imagine
That's
like
so
a
good.
57-year-old guy being like, I need that Stony Dude Bro hit, bro? Like, fucking some guy from a town in Kansas with like 300 people in it. Like,
I'd like to just very briefly, I'm going to share part of my screen here because to me, the greatest rapper, the greatest MAGA rapper, the greatest MAGA musician is Sizzla and his song No Vaccine.
oh, let's
which
go.
Oh, here we go.
Which goes so hard that I'm going to share a little bit of it.
I've
Oh
not
my
seen
God.
this before.
I've never either.
Now you being your children, protect your culture.
Let's go.
We're following the now you being your order, not Babylon New World Order. We're following King Selassie, Marcus, Gavin, Nani, and all those great people. Fire burn, Selassie. And when they see you stepping up in a life, know this, they're always gonna give you a fight. Jamaica, nothing good, no come easy. Hey, people are suffer, believe me. And when they see you step
He's doing like
Come on,
reggae
bro.
shit.
I mean, come on. that's.
That fucking
when
goes.
the line is, please won't someone believe me, you know that you're on the right track.
I'm trying to. Well, let me see if I can get to the chorus. I don't know if.
one name, don't make Babylon vaccine enter
Yeah, there
the
it is.
country. Deal with the Almighty and for him business only. Christian society said them no mix with criminal. Them read the Bible every day. The Bible said sabbatical. That mean the leader of the country. Follow the protocol. So how you follow?
Follow
This
the
is crazy.
protocols.
Dude, I
Follow
love the bass on that song. That song fucking. That song's going in my
it's-
fucking rotation. Tell you
It's
that.
a good ass song. Oh, you
Low-key
can run.
goes hard.
You can run to No Vaccine by Sizzla. But I just want to give out just a couple shout outs. I'm talking about Topher. I'm talking about High Res. I'm talking about Brian T. I'm talking about Bryson Gray. I'm talking about the Marine rapper. I'm talking about Mises. I think that some of these guys really have some really strong stuff. They are all featured in the song MAGA Rap, but
Oh my God.
that song
Okay.
also goes really hard.
Okay, so what
Jen,
is
do you
it
have a
with?
headache right now? This is a lot of new
A
information.
little
for you.
bit. Are these like all like AI raps or
these
are
do
real
people
dudes.
really-
All real.
Oh,
So
oh,
I
The bone deep disappointment that they're real people.
okay.
so what is it with, like, I feel like ever since Trump became a thing in like 2015, 2016, there was like a real push for like the like MAGA rappers or like Trump or like right-wing rappers. Like they're everywhere.
Because
And
Trump
like
is
some of them are
cool.
huge. Trump
Can
is
you
yeah,
imagine
but like
a Ron DeSantis rapper? No, you get a fucking
no.
polka player or fucking some guy with a, I don't know, a mandolin, some bullshit.
A
No.
Ron DeSantis rapper would be like an epic rap battle in history type of thing.
A
Like,
YouTube rapper. Here you go.
now you may know that I destroyed Florida, but I'm gonna show you all of these something or other. It's like
Lin Miranda,
that's gonna be
Lin-Manuel Miranda Corps, basically. But no, like I this is like such a fascinating world to me that we should maybe
This is
do
an
a
episode for sure.
deep dive into MAGA rapper world.
I hope they all
at some
go on
point.
tour together. I'd go to that in a fucking heartbeat.
Honestly, I would too. It's just fascinating because like Jen, I'm assuming you haven't heard the Target song, but it's oh my god,
It's
not
so bad.
it's not good. It's horrible.
Like, I'm not even saying that
this
as
is
like a
like-
hater. It's just objectively a shitty ass song.
Yeah.
And this is why Target pulled the Pride shirt.
Well, it's just
Well,
part of it. It's
it's
part
part
of
of
like an organized right wing campaign, basically.
So these guys ostensibly
Oh my
got to
God.
number one on iTunes, which I did some digging on
No.
this. So check this
Yeah.
out. They did, but I did some digging. I posted a thread about it, and I was like, "What does it really mean?" Because like, how many people paid 99 cents for the song? I was assuming it was going to be like 200,000 or 300,000 people did this. It's like that's pocket change to some of these right wing like Peter Thiel type ghouls that would do this, right? So I'm thinking it's got to be like dark money. And someone's
the
like,
same-
"Oh no,
it's-
here's the data."
the
Actually,
s-
it was.
They filmed it at Target?
Yeah,
He did, yeah.
Oh my, that's so embarrassing.
It's the
Okay.
same thing as to get sort of like religious or far right books on the New York Times bestseller list.
Yeah.
There's like a huge
You just pump it.
they pump and dump basically.
So check it out. The actual numbers to get them to number one on iTunes. Somebody shared with me the data that was online. It was like 4,200 people bought it. That's it.
Only
So they probably did it
4,200.
themselves. Frankly, that's like,
Yeah.
think about it. If like whatever iTunes cut is, you get it back or whatever. So you're paying a couple
Yeah.
grand, and then you're like, we're number one on iTunes, and all these hoople heads like Matt Walsh should be like, see,
It's fucking Benny Johnson. It's
Yeah,
on Benny
it's just
Johnson's
it's a
channel.
Yeah,
cheap
that's so.
PR
This is the
ploy.
thing. I was going to like play a little bit of it, but now I'm worried it's just like a coverage thing. So I was actually trying to find the video. But I think they play a little bit of the music if you want to hear a little bit of the anti-Target Bud Light rap.
Oh my god.
Because that's ostensibly what it is. Yeah.
Yeah,
This is so embarrassing.
yeah, it is.
So which one is this?
That's Nick Natoli.
Okay.
The black guy is who?
Nick.
Nick. Okay.
It's a weak chorus. It's a really weak chorus, and they lean on it way too much. All right, Benny's gonna talk now. We don't want to hear from Bennett. We don't want to hear from Bennett.
Yeah,
So-
no,
Hey,
fuck
Benny.
him.
We don't
Yeah.
talk, no one talks enough about how much of a piece of shit pervert Benny is. We're gonna get to him someday.
Absolutely. I hate that dude.
Benny,
that
come on the
motherfucker.
show anytime.
Please. I'll be nice.
I'm gonna show you a completely full shelf of my nuts, and you can point at it and look at the camera. You can just be like, "Wow, they only have the same kind of nuts, and they're all waxed nuts that I'm pointing at here." That's what
BuzzFeed
you're gonna
Benny.
be.
Fuck you. Okay. So that was it. So that was my big thing. Is like I thought that like this was like some sort of dark money scandal, and turns out, yeah, like less than $5,000 it takes to get to number one on iTunes, which is that's even funnier than I could have imagined. Because I was thinking it was just, you know what I mean, like Benny Johnson or Ben Shapiro, whoever these people, if it was $200,000-300,000, they would just do it just because they're psychopaths.
The
Yeah.
average 45-year-old white male American could buy a number one spot on iTunes with their Christmas bonus.
Which is magnificent.
And clearly he did. I've got to say, clearly an average 45-year-old white man paid for that spot.
and honestly, I'm surprised it only did that much because like on Twitter, if you like went into because I'm always like checking out right wing circles, of course, the videos like reposted on Twitter went like massively viral on right wing Twitter, like multiple accounts posting them. Like Benny Johnson, of course, I think his post got like nearly 100,000 likes. Like people were living for this song. So like you'd think it'd be a little bit
So if
more
you
of an impact.
again, I
Target-
made a thread about this.
Target.
It didn't get any traction. If you look at like outside of like freak Twitter sphere. If you go like to just like YouTube or whatever, it was number one and it beat out Taylor Swift and Luke Combs. Taylor Swift had released a song actually even more recently than theirs. Their most recent YouTube video had like 83,000, whereas Taylor had like millions of views on hers, and then Luke Combs had like 9 million on his. So it's like, you know, again, we're talking about kind of a microcosm of the internet. Like these people think that they're like changing the world by like paying 99 cents. This is the thing, is like conservatives, their only way to affect change is through the things that they consume, because they have no concept of like real world politics or material understanding of the world around them. Really, it's all just kind of all these machinations and abstractions of media. So yeah, they think that they're like making, and to a degree I suppose they are. I don't think that this song particularly was the reason that Target did that. It was just a bunch of hoople heads like hooting and braying like farm animals, but like they're not actually like they're not as powerful as they think they are. And it's like these noise machines come up, and I think we give them like these boycotts and stuff a little too much credit. And I think that what we're going to see is like, okay, it kind of worked maybe a little with Bud Light. I don't know if it did or didn't. Their stock dropped. It's been up and down. Target.
It's definitely like become offline. Like so at my job, I'll, again, as vague as possible, we have a warehouse. I'll sometimes cover a shift for people out there. Some of the like older workers there, I have heard like make jokes about Bud Light and like trans people, and I'm like, okay.
I didn't used to, but now I'm starting to a little bit. It took a while, but it's starting to permeate that culture. But what I wonder is, you know, now they're doing Kohl's, and I don't even know why. Now they're doing this, that. Now they're doing Chick-fil-A, which is the funniest fucking one of all time. Now
this is
Chick-fil-A is gone.
This is the problem. This is the problem. Is that when libs and leftists were like, Chick-fil-A is bad. Chick-fil-A is homophobic. And Chick-fil-A had to like come out and be like, we're not really homophobic. And then like 3 days later, they gave a bunch of money to a bunch of homophobic people. And then people are like, we can still see you. You didn't disappear.
Right.
We don't like that you did that. But the right wing, they don't have a further expression of politics. They don't have the ability to understand politics outside of consumerism. So I posted about this like 2 weeks ago about a wine company, just some fucking maniac in his basement making like transphobic wine, and put all these like really transphobic memes in it. They all said like 14% alcohol, 41% suicide rate.
I saw.
Yeah, and it's like,
oh my god.
Yeah.
But
it was
you
horrible.
had all these like slurs and like images of like trans people hanging themselves and really like awful memes of like keffels and stuff. But it's also like, if this guy was like a Maoist and he was this angry about a political project, his only solution would not be like
to make
the
a
mean
good
labels on his homemade wine. Like,
yeah.
he would be googling like how to make a fertilizer bomb and nearest trans clinic. Like that would be his Google search. Like they aren't serious. They don't understand politics at all. They don't understand the difference between political and apolitical, because they think that if there is a black girl in the Little Mermaid, that's politics. But like the massive movements of individuals based on their socioeconomic status, that is just the way the world works. That's not politics. And it's really like they should be ashamed. They're so fucking stupid, and they say it every day. They just log on and they're like, I'm too stupid to understand anything. Anybody else with me? And a bunch of their friends are like, yeah, man, actually, yeah. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna buy Chick-fil-A for 3 months until I forget. Hooray! Like, okay, nobody gives a fuck. Like, it doesn't.
No more Bud Light. We're mad at Bud Light. We're not mad at the immigrants anymore. We're gonna start buying Negro Modelo. We'll buy the Mexican beer. Bad news, bitch. Bad news, bitch. They're all made by the same company.
Here's a fun exercise, by the way, that I've been using. Anytime someone like tries to like, we're going to create a conservative list of non-woke companies that we're going to buy from, just Google the company name and like DEI or like Pride or whatever. You're going to get, because every fucking company in the world has DEI or like pride stuff or inclusion or just whatever. And it's very fun to show that to them because they lose their goddamn minds.
Well, the anti-DEI stuff especially is so funny. It's like getting mad that like Black Rifle Coffee has an HR department.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Like, what the fuck?
What do you think that DEI is? It's like it's like listen, like there's criticisms to make about like rainbow capitalism and all that, but DEI largely exists so like companies don't get sued. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't mean what you think it means. It's just crazy.
But of course, they think it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, they think that
like
it's
this whole
socialism
thing.
or whatever. Like,
yeah, but I do think you hit the nail on the head, Caleb. Where it's like they're like conservatives, especially like modern, recent conservatives, and I don't know, maybe it's always been this way, but it's their expression of their politics is through their consumption and what they consume and how much they consume.
It's just late capitalism. It's all semiotics.
Yeah.
They have everything that you purchase is like a semiotic stand-in for your like identity. Everything that you purchase is how you express yourself, because the way that our society is set up is that's the only fucking way that you can express who you are as an individual. And when you live in a society that is ostensibly centered around the rugged individual, yes, of course, everything that you do, everything that you purchase is all kind of a stand-in for representation for like who you're supposed to be, what kind of car you drive, what kind of shoes you wear, what fucking burgers you eat or whatever. Like that's political.
Because
to these
what is a rugged individual other than somebody who makes choices that only affect himself? And
are you trying to tell me that if you put on New Balances, you're not owning the libs?
Black Philly teenagers love New Balances. They're rocking the newbies in Philly. I'm sorry to tell you. You go down South Street, it's all newbies. I know, but it's the same thing, you know. It's like you can't hold on to it. And if you look back, because actually, our good friend of the pod, all of our best friends, Human Bad Guy, the Cybersmith, said to me today.
Let's go.
He said, "Do you support economic action against companies you disagree with or not? Would you have said that the Montgomery bus boycott was good or bad?" And
oh my.
He's an idiot.
Oh my god.
That's not a smart thing to say.
No.
That's not a smart thing. I would love to know his real name. I feel bad calling him Cyber. I've been trying to be real nice to him in the DMs. I don't know if he's listening. But
I don't
Cyber,
know.
I think we
I
can,
meant to
I
ask
think
him
we
that
can
when
make
I
it
interviewed him. I know his real information. I forgot to ask if that was like information.
It doesn't seem like it is. I don't know what it is.
It's
but
out there, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
So yeah, he said, but go ahead.
I was going to say, I have no idea how I missed this Target and Chick-fil-A thing. The wrappers, my jaw is like on the floor right now. I'm looking at this headline. I cannot believe it. This is a lot to process. This is insane.
Yeah.
Why Chick-fil-A is drawing fire. Oh, wait, paywall. Hold on 1 second, guys. Somebody else want to read that? Why Chick-fil-A is drawing fire over a culture of belonging.
But no, I am surprised because like the Target one has been going on for like maybe a week, maybe even 2 weeks now. I'm losing track of time with some of this shit. But yeah, this Target nonsense has been going on for a while. Like this, I think the song dropped like a week ago now, like maybe close to a week now. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is basically what the right wing has been ever since the whole Bud Light controversy, is just them finding a company, finding out that they've once had like a pride flag associated with them, and then like boycotting them. That's been their like whole thing for nearly 3 months.
And that's and it's very funny because like Chick-fil-A is such an explicitly Christian,
homophobic.
Well, homophobic.
Yeah.
But I would say they are kind of quietly homophobic. They are explicitly a Christian right-wing company.
Right.
And they put it in their restaurants. They put Bible verses on their things. And I quoting Jesus of Nazareth, he of course said, for I was hungry, or no, somebody said of Jesus, for I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was an immigrant and I didn't enter your country legally, and I was trying to groom your children, and therefore I told you to get the fuck out of here, because that is not who comes and visits me. That's what Christ said. So I think it's really
it's in the Bible.
Yeah.
couple of updates. First of all, the big one was that Chick-fil-A hired a VP of DEI, and that was the first thing that set these hoopleheads off. Was like, again, basically just somebody to manage that aspect of their human resources.
If you're gonna say it twice, I'm gonna ask what a hooplehead is.
I would say watch the HBO masterpiece Deadwood, and you will know.
I haven't. I'm sorry. Okay.
It imbecile. Anyway, but today, Dan Cathy, the Chick-fil-A CEO, there's a quote. Apparently, this is real, and it's from an
I'm
old
unsure.
video. You're
I'm
unsure
of this.
Well, I googled it.
I mean, okay.
Let's
Is it
Google
real?
again. Apparently, it's from an old video. Hang on, I'm gonna Google it one more time just to make sure that I don't have to touch poop on this show.
Because I saw it on a Twitter account called Pop Tings.
Oh, Pop Tings is legit though.
This is from the New
Pop
York
Tings
Post.
breaks news all the fucking time.
Wait, do they really? Are you being serious?
I'm being serious.
Okay.
I feel like I hear about like most celebrity news from Pop Tings, or like what's the other one? It's like Cherry Bomb,
Rap something.
or
Pop Crave maybe.
yeah.
Pop
They're
Crave,
all
Pop
the
Crave.
fucking like both of those. I feel like I
Pop Crave will be like Erdogan has shut down the internet in Turkey, and it's like, what does this have to do with pop music? I don't...
Yeah, so it's real. It's on Newsweek. It's on New York
hell
Post.
yeah.
So apparently, Dan Cathy, in a video from years ago, said that every white person should get on their knees and shine black people's shoes with a sense of shame and embarrassment for the racism that they've experienced. And based, first of all. Second of all, the amount of just outrage that this is like kind of new as of, I mean, I think that this has been circulating for a couple days, but it's just now starting to gain some traction. And it's going to be very interesting to see. Like, I would not be surprised if this guy like resigns within a week.
Yeah, I saw this as of like a couple hours before we started talking here. It's blowing up.
You know what I want? I want something more interesting to happen. Resigning's boring. Brother, keep that thing on you. Stay strapped in these streets, and let that thing talk if they have something to say to you. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I would love to see it to go the other way, where some guy who's like, I do diversity and inclusion, and I clapped any motherfucker who tried to step to me. So by all means, come to my house.
He should do that. He should listen to you.
Stay ready. I think that's a good place to be. So, Jen, you are the guest. We're gonna wrap up here in a second. I gotta know: do you want a funny thing or a serious thing?
Funny.
Great. So, what's going on between Elon Musk and Matt Iglesias?
Oh, let's go.
Oh my God.
I was hoping we'd get to talk about
Hell
this
yes.
today.
Yeah.
I do
Hell
love
yeah.
what he said. What was it last week? Has your brain fallen out of your head?
Yeah. So it's a
Was that an
continuation.
Elon tweet?
Yeah, and I tried to use it as a pickup line. I was like, "Oh, has your brain fallen out of your head, or are you just happy to see me?" And so it didn't really work, but it's okay.
So
See, you guys, I'm not a poster.
No, you're doing great. You're doing
you're
great.
fine. You're fine. You're fine.
On God, we're gonna get you laid, girl. I have promised.
My parents are listening.
Not this late. Not this deep into it. They're just gonna tell you they're very proud of you. And
We scared them off at least 45 minutes ago.
As the
They
producer,
clicked off
as the
after
producer, I
Sizzla.
will insert a request for them to stop listening about 10 minutes before this happens. That's and now we're
Right.
gonna get you laid.
So
But no,
essentially what happened was Elon and Matty are fighting because Matt Iglesias, God damn it pains me to say this.
Dude,
He was right.
the worst guy you know just made a good point.
Yes. He wrote a thing that was basically about how Elon calls himself a free speech absolutist, and wrote an article about how actually basically it was like 80 something % of times governments have asked Twitter since Elon has taken over to like censor things. He's agreed to do it. So he wrote this, and then Elon got mad at him, and then Matty Iglesias wrote back and said basically like when Elon said, "You're such a numbskull, please point out where we had an actual choice to reverse it, basically to not censor." And so Matt quote tweets this and says, "It's come to my attention that some folks feel that this is a question that I should answer it. My reply is that it's not a question, and every time Twitter is asked by a government to censor something, they have the choice about whether or not to comply." So Elon responds twice. He says, "Insufferable numbskull." He says, "Now
So
answer the
Elon
question."
calls Maddie an insufferable.
Yes,
numbskull.
yes.
Okay.
which relatable. I kind of have to hand that to him.
I mean, they're both right in a way.
Yeah.
Matt Iglesias is correct. Like, he is technically
They're in a
correct.
stopped clock off against each other.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are. Yes. One is
Wait, I'm
pointed at
sorry, I
midnight, one's
actually-
pointed at noon.
I
What was
actually
that?
did screenshot this, and it seems like so long ago. I actually did screenshot this, and I tweeted it with "the girls are fighting."
Yes.
And I got in so much trouble on Blue Sky.
On Blue
So
Sky.
much-
Wait, you can
on
get
Blue
in
Sky.
trouble on Blue Sky?
You
I've
sure
never.
can.
Because I posted it, and then I didn't look at my phone for a few hours, and then when I checked Blue Sky again, it was just like, wow, can we not with the misogyny? And it was just like, wow, sex is much.
Oh
And
my god.
Let's
you guys have never heard
go.
the girls
Shut
are
up.
fighting? Like, and those were all the comments. Ridiculous, but
Yeah. I'll say this. In the last few weeks, I've taken a 180 on. I think Blue Sky sucks now. More it. Jeff Tiedrick came for my ass, by the way. Did you guys see
Wait.
that?
No.
Well, that's the fun thing about Blue Sky is that Jeff Dietrich can still come for our asses. He's not in the
And I have more
in the
followers than
rarefied
him now.
air.
Yeah.
I didn't even know he was on there.
So like a month ago, I swear to God, I posted, there was a screenshot of like the Mueller She Wrote lady saying like, oh, I need a Blue Sky invite. And then Jeff was like, me too, please. And I posted that. I was like, God, no, please, God, keep them off this fucking website. Keep these perverts off here. So Jeff, over a month later, somehow, I don't know how, he must have seen it and then waited till he got his invite and found it and was like, he quote tweeted me. He was like, oh, wow, it's pretty crazy to me that for you, keeping me off this website was a bigger priority than keeping Nazis off this website. And I'm like, oh,
Hell yeah, let's go,
Oh my
Jeff.
God.
Let's go, Jeff.
he fucking
Jeff is
got
the
my
man.
ass, dude.
Jeff is the man.
Let's go, Jeff.
Dude, Jeff beat my ass on Blue Sky. So that was like, I'm deleting my account. I'm over it.
You gotta delete your Blue Sky. Come back as a new name.
Can I tell
That's
you
done. You got
guys a
cooked
little
by-
a Jeff Tiedrick story?
Oh,
Please,
yes.
God, please.
So as you may know, I used to host a podcast called Reply All, which
I haven't listened to
which
it.
had a
What's
decent
up with
sized
that?
listenership.
Did it?
And we were talking about Donald Trump getting banned from Twitter, and Jeff Tiedrick cut his teeth as a notorious Donald Trump reply guy. That's how he sort of made his name on Twitter.
Yeah.
And
for
he
sure.
made a tweet that I thought was funny
It was very fun. I know
When-
exactly
when-
where you're going with this.
when he got banned, and he was like, "Well, I guess I'll read a book" or something like that,
Yep.
which I thought was like pretty. I thought it was pretty good. So the
I was
way
pissed off when I saw that. Why? I was like, why is he funny? What's he been
That made me
doing?
mad too. Yeah.
So the way I characterized it on the show is I was like, yeah, there's this insufferable reply guy, Jeff Tiedrick. He's so fucking annoying, but he made one good tweet. And then I said the tweet on the show. And then like 3 weeks later, someone sent me an email, which was like, oh, you broke Jeff Tiedrick's heart. And it was just a screenshot of his tweet being like, oh, I like Reply All.
Oh, poor Jeff. You broke his heart. You ended him.
Oh man, Alex, you're a time traveler and went back in time and avenged me.
Yeah,
That's what
I did that
was.
because I knew one day he was going to try and give
He was
Berger
gonna get
Spector
my
some
ass.
shit.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Famous Nazi appreciator Berger Spector. Love that website. Love it.
I do have to hand. So Jeff has had two funny tweets though. The reading a book one, and then when Trump got indicted recently, and it was just him going on like he was like in a fugue state. Like I think his reply to one of the news stories was just like as long of a tweet saying like laughing like ha 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 or some shit. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
He
and
was like-
put a
he was
space between
loving-
each ha.
Yeah,
That's sicko
shit. Yeah, I was on his side that day. I was like, let him have this.
He
He's
deserved
been-
his day.
He deserved it. He was waiting 5 years. He waited maybe 7 actually. He waited 7 years for that. You got to hand that one to him.
He did deserve his day. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
I just think
I
that it's
love that
very
for
funny
him.
that like 6 weeks later he found my tweet and was just like, yeah. Anyway, I don't know how. I want to know how he found it. I just blocked him like instinctively. I don't want to deal with this.
So
fucking
I'm sorry.
idiot.
Before we wrap up here, where are we standing on the Matt and Elon thing? Are we on with somebody's side? Is it good? Is it bad?
In my case, so my thing is they're both so Maddie was definitely right where he was coming from, and something that I find fascinating about Matt is like everyone hates him. No one like he has a way to make everyone just pissed the fuck off at him. Leftists hate him, right wingers hate him. I feel like liberals just would like read what he says just to like see what happens, right? Like he has like the one thing I have to hand Matt is he has some of the greatest ability to just piss people off. I don't know what it is.
And
It's astonishing.
It doesn't seem to ever phase him. He's like, if he was a Pokemon, he'd be Shuckle, like maximum defense. He cannot be harmed.
But
Like, no weakness.
ultimately quite useless in a practical battle.
He is. That's it. Canonically, he is Shuckle.
And I've got to say,
So good.
somebody tried to pit us against each other because I made fun of Shuckle.
No,
Caleb.
So I made years ago. I had because my friend did it and I copied him. But I made I maxed EV'd, max leveled 6 Shuckles, and I would battle my friends just to piss them off. It took forever. I would always lose, but took so long that sometimes they would quit. That was my whole strategy, which is actually Matt Iglesias' strategy. I feel
It is. That's his strategy, and it works.
You have to understand, dude is a fucking millionaire for having the
I
worst
know.
fucking takes. He makes
He was a millionaire before he started
much
doing this. His
money.
dad is a Hollywood producer.
I didn't
Oh
know.
wait, I
my
didn't know
God.
any of this.
He produced From Hell, the 1998 Les Miserables. He's not like a big film producer, but that's enough to send your kids to be taught by Jeffrey Epstein. Sure.
Let's
All right, so
go,
Jen.
Shuckle.
All right, so Jen, that's what I was looking for. That's what we needed to end this show. No pressure at
Yay.
all, but we're gonna do like probably another hour of like paywall, behind the paywall type content. You are welcome to stay. It is going to be extremely cringe. Alex, you can back me up on this because he knows what it's gonna be, or you can save yourself.
Yeah,
It's
you
up
can
to
go have an evening. It's up to you.
Yeah, we won't be offended either way.
Okay.
No, absolutely.
Sorry, guys. It's the Vanderpump Rules reunion night.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I know.
I didn't realize. I'm so
I
sorry.
understand.
Okay, but thank you guys so much. Seriously,
thank you.
Dude,
such
it was
an
awesome to
honor.
have you. Thank you.
I
Yeah,
think
thank you.
I like when I was I think I tweeted this because I just didn't know how to describe it. I was like, this would be like if Adele asked me to come sing on stage with her. I can't sing, but it's Adele. Like I can't say no. It's such an honor. So yeah, I'll embarrass myself. It's fine.
No, you did great.
You did
You did great.
Okay.
Your
I think
parents
it's
are gonna be proud of you.
I think it's really good. It's really good practice to be starstruck by us. It's because once we're successful, it's over for you hoes. It's gonna
Okay. Well, thanks so much, you guys.
Thank
I'll
you,
talk
Jen.
to you soon.
well, thanks so much. We really appreciate
Thank you, Jen.
it. Anything else you want to plug or anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I have my own PR agency. I just started expanding towards more celebrities and more creators. So just because the tech industry was just getting a little bit tiresome. So, but yeah, and then just, watching Elon spiral and watching all the next door posts.
So if one of us gets canceled, we can consult you. You can
Yeah.
help us through it.
Crisis
Oh,
PR.
totally.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, we
I
have.
got
I'm
we
gonna
have-
say some really crazy stuff tomorrow. We're gonna really
Blue
put your
Sky's
skills
back
to
on the menu for
test.
me.
Let's find out. She was cocky on the recording, but let's see what she can actually
Scheme is being hashed right now.
do. Once I dox a couple public officials, we're going to see who damage controls whom. All right. Thank you so much, Jen. We really appreciate it. Please follow Jen. And we love you very much. Follow each of us. Whack. That's me. Juniper. That's her.
Don't
Caleb,
follow
that's
me.
him.
Don't do it.
Don't follow Caleb. Alex.
Shitter's full.
Alex does need the validation though, so please do follow him.
God, please. My
And-
follower count is dropping precipitously.
Oh no!
Alex is in a really awkward space where the reply all psychos are unfollowing him, but the Western Kabuki guys haven't jumped in yet.
Yeah, we need to juice him up a little bit. We need to get our guys.
We don't want
his,
him. We
space.
don't want him down in the mud with Caleb, or God forbid me. So
Yeah.
let's get him out of there. All right, thank you so much for listening to Western Kabuki. On Patreon, we will be watching the one-man show, My Buddy Bill with Rick Cleveland. If you have any familiarity with that show, it is free on YouTube, and you can watch it on Comedy Central, and you can look up what it's about. My co-hosts have not done so. So I will be introducing this one-man show that I've watched about 5 times this week in anticipation for this episode, and I am very excited for how cringe it is going to be. So please join us behind the paywall. Patreon.
I'm a little nervous.
Western Kabuki.